Well, welcome to tonight's show. You're with Tom, Brian and Steve, and this is NRL from the Sidelines. And as we do every time this week, we're going to talk about the round of NRL that has just been played. And it's going to be an interesting round, or interesting discussion, I'm sure. Gentlemen, how are we tonight?
Yep, okay.
You mentioned to me before you were Zen-like.
That's right. I'm calm.
Okay, is there something we can do to get you out of this space?
No, it'll happen naturally.
So, I think there is actually so much to talk about with this round of football. We should probably get straight into it.
Yeah, because we want to get onto the games as well. So let's get into it.
That's what he's saying.
Yep.
I'm saying it.
Yep.
Okay. Go.
Sometimes it's tough.
Go.
Working here. It really is. Go, he says. Go. Now that I'm being yelled at. Okay. So, round 8 gave us some actually wonderful games. And to start out the round...
So you're talking about the games now?
Calm.
Yeah.
I thought we usually talk about stuff before the games. That's what we usually do.
We're working with amateurs, people. What can I say? He said we're not going to... We've got so much to talk about in the games, we're going to go straight into it.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to go straight into the first game of the
Just
week.
pick my hearing aid now.
It's going to be a longer show
Thursday
than
night.
normally.
Thursday night.
Roosters.
Storm beat the Roosters 27-25 in what some people are calling the game of the round, the game of the year, the game of the century. It was a very good game.
Yeah, until next week. And there'll be another game of the round, game of the season, game of the
Well, we've had
century.
2 of them already against Parramatta and against us. I actually took some notes.
I always take notes.
Yeah.
I just watch the game and enjoy them.
Right.
So,
you want to give
you want to go first?
Go on, bro. Go on, Brian.
Okay.
We're really ad hoc tonight, aren't we?
I want to say this. See, because what I've done is I've noted in a couple of points from each team.
Okay.
All right. Storm. Paps was monstered by Morris. I haven't seen such a little bloke being thrown around since Hodgson was thrown over the sideline by Tallis. I thought that was impressive.
That's very true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Like, yeah, it kind of shows you that if you're, Bob Fulton always used to say, a good big bloke will always be a good little bloke.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the way that it works.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, yeah, I know, and by the midway through the second half, he was steering well clear of the sideline.
Yeah.
Smith is on a half. I know it was only one game, but he couldn't control the game from halfback.
You can see the difference when he switched.
Yep. Jerome Muse was very, very good. I was actually very impressed with him. He stepped up enormously in Munster's absence. Boyd Cordner, I've never seen him make so many mistakes in a game.
He's made a few.
He's busted at the moment.
He made a few. Well, then he shouldn't play.
It doesn't matter if he's busted or not, except for there was at one point he was quite heavily hit, concussed, and he made a mistake then.
Well, that was the turning point in the game.
Well, the
very end of the game.
Well, the turning point of the game was when you guys were dudded on the field goal because he knocked it on. No, it was a knock on.
No, I'm arguing that. I don't think it was a knock on.
It was a knock on.
I think if they captain challenge, I don't know if you can captain's challenge on that. But
Yeah, you can.
If you could, I reckon it could have gone either way. To be honest, because it was very, very minor.
He put the ball on the
And
ground.
I didn't
and
see
it
it
was propelled
until
forward.
I didn't see it until it was actually discussed on Facebook with other people.
I agree.
Well, no one else did it.
But yes, he could have won us the game.
Oh,
You know,
well,
there's
it
no
would have meant that the
the
ball
ball
wouldn't have gone out
and it would have
to
been 20 seconds.
Pappenhausen.
Well, okay, but you could also argue that had Friend not pushed over and had the
that was
penalty,
dumb.
they still could have won. There's about 1,000
Yeah,
things
but-
that happened
But that
to
was
the
more
game.
blatant. I mean,
But that was-
you can guarantee if that knock on had been called, the Roosters would have won that game. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah,
20
no
seconds to
doubt.
go. But with Jake Friend's thing, it was like a minute and a half to go in the first half of extra time. So anything could have happened at that stage.
Of course.
You know, it was likely they were going to go on and kick a field goal. If they kept possession. So it's hard to.
Anyway, go
So
on.
that was just my observations of the night. It was a great game, lots of energy.
Yep,
Like
it was terrific.
it actually was a good game.
Yeah.
Like not often I'll watch. I'm not a particular fan of the Storm, but I was, and so yeah, I know it's a bit hard to believe.
Gosh.
But we came over and we watched it with Tom to support him, and
We did.
And usually, if there's a Storm game, I'm quickly looking around on Facebook, and But I was actually enthralled. I thought it was a good game.
Yep.
game of two halves because at halftime I didn't think the Roosters were anywhere near.
That's interesting.
Did you play?
No, I haven't.
No.
And should I? Actually, while you're doing your thing, let me try
let me just say you don't need to, because if the Roosters had continued on, they had that game in the bag.
But they didn't though, did they?
But they
No.
didn't though, did they? No, exactly.
No.
Well, look, I mean, I won't bother trying to find it now,
Okay.
but you were adamant that the
game
Roosters
was
were
over.
going to win this game.
I nearly went
At
home.
halftime,
I nearly
you
went
said-
home. Yes.
Yeah, maybe.
And
You
see,
should.
that's the other thing that you need to consider too when you're talking about this game. The Roosters were ahead by 10 points.
Yes.
And honestly, I'm surprised that they let Melbourne come back, because normally the Roosters are ahead by 10 points. They'll stay ahead.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, look, there were
They
a
don't get run
couple
down.
of critical plays. I've got that here.
Okay,
Yeah.
go.
So 3 out of 4 first tries were from mistakes on the other side, and that just shows what great defence it was. I mean, there were some bad choices, but there was great defence, lots and lots of pressure. You know, for the whole game, it was tremendous defence on both sides. For at least the first 51 minutes, after a big defensive set, the Roosters looked in control. They scored twice in the second half, I think, and they looked in control, 22-10, 22-12. Errors took over. There was a short kick-off, and I think they said that Cordner bumped Vunivalu off the ball, and so they got the ball, and that's when they went and scored straight off that. So errors on our part were the reason why the Storm ended up scoring those 2 tries. I mean, the last try was a pretty good one.
You're cheating off his notes or something, are you?
But
Just looking at how many he's got.
well, you let me get on with it. But the second Jerome Hughes try was just, I think, fatigue. I mean, they were out on their feet, and they made the most of it. So Keary kicked a field goal, which should have sealed it with 40 seconds to go. And then there was a short kick-off again by the Storm, and Toops dropped the ball, which he hadn't done all night. And that was really, really a shame. I was thinking, why don't you tap it back and organise for one of our players to be there ready to catch it, but never mind. And there was clever distraction because nobody expected Pappenhausen to take the field goal. And of course that followed the knock-on, which I didn't know about at the time of the game.
No, he didn't say it in real time.
So from there it was extra time, ill discipline from Friend, and a bit of milking from Finucane, I reckon. Penalty, game over.
You know what?
Because Finucane put the ball on the ground while he was still down.
Yeah,
and that is illegal.
But you know what? He also, as soon as Friend pushed him, he stood there. As soon as he blew the whistle, he knew he'd done it because he swore and kicked the ball.
Oh,
it wasn't like he looked around to see what.
But the point is,
he
Finucane
knew.
put the ball on the ground while he's still on the ground, and so that's illegal. That should have been the other way.
Yeah, that happens a million times a game.
For sure. And in the end, the better team, I think, personally, the better team gave the game to a team through 19 errors, which we committed. Credit to the Storm, kept patient, took their chances. It was a fantastic game, and I think we're going to be licking our wounds because we've got just injury after injury at the moment. I know a lot of teams have got injuries, but I'm talking about my team.
Yeah, so you're
suddenly
talking
got
about
lots and lots of injuries.
I'll be happy to swap his injuries with him.
Well, we've got 2 ACLs. At least your players are coming back.
That's
Ours
true.
aren't.
Maybe.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
So a couple of things there. I'm not sure Cameron Smith is a halfback or a 5'8", wherever they played him. I think he's better being at hooker where he is. He can control a lot more.
He's been the best hooker in the last 10 years, so...
Yeah, I think if Munster was there, that would have made a huge difference. I don't think they would have got behind by 10.
yeah, and
But look,
you
it
could
was
see the
superb
loss
game.
of Radley up the middle, distributing the ball. It was clunky on down the left hand side.
Yeah.
I don't think what's his name, Manu, saw the ball in attack.
No.
Unless he picked up and ran the ball.
No.
I don't think he saw the ball in attack. How good are the Morris brothers?
Going well.
They are
Going well.
sensational.
Okay.
They are sensational.
All right, we're going to keep moving.
Yep.
Yep. But you know what? I meant to do this before we started, but I'm going to do it now. You guys always give me a hard time because of the way the nature of the season's going. Every time I get here, you talk about the winner's circle.
No, he did last week. I haven't been
The
talking.
winner's circle.
I've been
I've
talking
actually-
about the winner's circle for a while.
I've actually come up with my own winner's circle. See this? So I'm the only one in the winner's circle, and we're going to get to that later. But now we're talking
who
about
they
the
played?
winner's circle.
They played the Dogs. Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Irrelevant.
Excuse me. It was a mighty win.
We was.
Let's go on.
He flaps and he flattered them.
Let's go on to the next game on Friday night, where the Raiders beat the Dragons 22-16.
Not convinced about the Raiders.
What a strange game.
Yeah, it was an odd game.
I mean, Raiders cruising. They were 18 points up.
Yeah, it's
Just cruising along. Then they took their foot off, and admittedly, for the first time all year, the Dragons didn't give up. So
I actually thought they played well.
Yeah, yeah.
I really do. I think
They've come
played
out of the
very
slump, haven't they? I mean,
Yeah.
they're not winning games, but they're showing a bit of fight, and they're actually looking like a football team.
the problem is Corey Norman has zero effect on a game. I mean, I hate to say it, but the guy's on really good coin, and he's having zero effect.
Yeah.
Ben Hunt looks. Everybody like so. What's Ben Hunt's position? It's obviously hooker or off the bench.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to ask, are you happy with him coming off the bench? Because I thought he did I thought he was good.
Yeah.
Well, he's starting next week, so it'll be interesting to see.
Starting at hooker or starting at half?
Starting at hooker.
Look, I think you're right. I think hooker's his best position. He is that third playmaker.
Yeah. And it means that if he's at hooker, he can control the game, and his game management isn't bad. But it's the same as at halfback. When Cameron Smith was playing at halfback, the Storm looked somewhat rudderless, and I think it was the same. So and Zach Lomax, wow! If he was in a top flight team,
He's got a man crush on Zach Lomax.
no. I'm just saying, like, did you watch the game? The guy is everywhere.
Yeah.
He's exceptional in defence. He's quick, pacey. He knows where to be. He hits a hole. If he was in a top team, we'd be talking about him in much more glowing terms.
I'm disappointed we're not watching James Graham anymore, I must admit. You know, I really am. What did you think of Saab at winger?
I didn't notice him.
Potential. I still think he's got great potential, but if he was playing in a team that had a better kicking game, I think that he would be looking even better.
He was a little bit lost. A couple of high balls, I think. I remember he didn't get to where he's supposed to be, and he had all the height. I mean, people like Tupou and other tall players know where to be. Yeah. And they get taken off the ball sometimes, but this bloke still learning how to position himself. 4 or 5 games into a career.
Sure. Are we thinking there's a possibility for the Saints in the bottom of the 8?
I don't think so. No.
Just curious.
Sadly, Barry, I'm sorry. So, Hayden, you need to tell us what's going on with the Raiders, because they're a good side that are not playing well.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame.
I wonder if the Bateman.
No, it is like seriously. I'm shocked that the Raiders aren't doing better.
Is the Bateman situation affecting them?
Well, that's hard. I mean, so Bateman's now signed with Wigan for apparently a lot less money than he was going to get in Australia. Yeah. So it wasn't money.
Well,
no one else was going to pay the $900,000 that he wanted.
I think he took the next best option, to be honest.
I just don't know. Ricky Stewart has this habit of when he's at teams of really gelling with some players, and then the rest of the players seem to fall off. So when he was at the Roosters, it was the same. He had a group of players that played like dynamite. But overall, the team just didn't seem to get it. Then he went to Parramatta, the same thing. And as at Canberra, it seemed to work. And then players, it looks like there's non-contributors there, and I don't get that.
Well, they've lost Gula, and they've lost Soliola.
Yep.
They've already got Horsburgh out, and they're not have done an abatement. So that's a big hole.
Absolutely.
So the one thing that they did talk about before the game was it was Ricky Stewart's 200th after the game. Ricky Stewart's 200th win,
and he breathed a sigh of relief at the end of that game.
He did.
You could see.
But I stopped and had to think about it for a while, because I honestly thought he would have been well over 200 games. He's been coaching for so long. And he coached the Roosters those years.
Three seasons.
3 seasons. I think they made the grand final twice or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it's only 200.
It takes a while to get your wins up.
He might have had a short period of time without between jobs where he didn't have actually.
Yeah, maybe
it wasn't coaching.
But interesting.
Yeah,
very interesting. All right, let's move on to Bankwest Stadium, where the Parramatta Eels beat the Cowboys 42-4, and I backed the Cowboys on this one because they had a big win the week before, and I thought if they're going to come right, It's a great time to do it, and they let me down.
The Gutho and Sivo show.
Gutho was unbelievable.
Man, isn't he what?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. You must be, every time you see him run around, you must be thinking, what the hell?
Yeah, I know. I don't know.
I put on Facebook, is he as good as Tedesco? And I got shouted down. I expected that. That's fine. But I tell you what, he probably means as much to Parramatta as Tedesco does to the Roosters.
Yeah, as does Tom mean to Manly. It's look. I mean, I understand why he left. He was obviously told, look, there's this bloke Tom. He's coming through. He's got the fullback spot sewn up.
Yeah.
You're not big enough to play on the wing and continually hit the ball up. So you'll be playing off the bench. So I get why he left. But my goodness, he is a talented player.
He sure is.
Yeah.
He's full of confidence, isn't he? You know, I mean, people call him arrogant a bit, and he's King Gutho. But I tell you what, he just delivers. You know.
No, I like him.
Yeah, but
He's
I
the
don't
heart
think
and
he
soul
named
of that
himself
team.
King Gutho.
Yeah. He's the heart and soul of that team.
Yeah.
He really is.
And the other reason I thought they might go down is because there's no Mitchell Moses. But
Moses who?
Mitchell.
Oh.
Dylan Brown's really picked up. And I even thought Jai Field
was
really
very
busy.
good.
He was really good. Yeah.
Well, see, he was good while he was running around at the Dragons too. He
did his knee.
Yeah, but always busy.
Yeah.
Busy is the right word for him. He's a halfback that's everywhere. So, which meant Dylan Brown could do his thing, which is an exceptional thing.
Yeah, 42-4. That's geez.
And I tell you, trying to find a positive for the Cowboys.
Yeah. Yeah. It's tough at the moment.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens when they play next week.
Tamalolo wasn't effective. Josh Maguire made a ton of tackles and meters, but you can't just rely on one player.
No.
And so I don't know what.
But that's what they seem to be doing. If they can't think of something to do, they're going to Tamalolo and just
and I believe
throwing the ball and see what he can do.
Val Holmes has been put to the wing this week.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Hammers at fullback.
I mean, he was supposed to be the great hope.
Yep.
But he's just not.
Well, I mean, he did do his ankle, and he still limps around from time to time when he comes out of a tackle. So he's probably just not right yet.
Then, I mean, if they're going to lose with him, they might as well get rid of him and rest him up so he fixes himself, and then,
Yeah, anyway. You're probably right.
So yeah, I'm disappointed in the way that the Cowboys are going. I put him in my top 8, but right now, there's nowhere near it.
We all knew that.
Well, not all of us. So how are you feeling? You still feeling Zen-like because we're coming close to...
I'm feeling still...
Huh?
I'm still Zen.
Rangers
It's okay.
got 3 games away from it.
Can you believe he has fans?
Fans?
Well, people on Facebook saying they're looking forward tonight to seeing how Brian reacts tonight on the show.
I'm calm.
Because it's entertainment. They'll get the popcorn out and they'll watch him.
I'm calm.
It's not that they like him. They just...
They don't like him.
I'm not saying they don't like him. I'm just saying it's not because they like him. It's because they want to see him rant.
Anyway, continue on.
You add value to the show, Brian.
Yeah, does he? Oh, cool. Excellent. That's good to know for future.
Don't expect that to continue.
That's right. Okay, let's move on to Saturday afternoon where the Sharks monstered the Titans 40-10.
And as usual, the Titans were in the game for about 15 minutes, something like that, I think. What's going on with the Sharks? I mean, it's just...
Well, Sean Johnson, I've noticed over the last 3 or 4 weeks, he's been very, very good.
Yep.
It's like, at the Warriors, he was the man.
Yep.
He had to do everything. And he's come to the Sharks, and I think he went into a shell. So every time the Sharks went anywhere, Sean Townsend was guiding him around, and there was Johnson going, oh, what am I going to do? And then he would do brain explosion, stupid stuff.
Yep.
Mate, I think he's leading the season in try assists and kicks and everything.
He's about 3rd on the Dally M.
It's like now he's just picking his moment and going for it, and it's working.
I saw John Morris interviewed last night, and they said that they're really good mates. He's got a really good friendship with Sean, and I think that's helping. And he's helping to find balance. And as you say, he's saying pick your moments. He's saying don't go for the miracle play every time.
Yeah, well, John Morris was a good halfback anyway.
Yeah.
So like solid, not a Jonathan Thurston type player, but he was a good player.
He played 300 games, so
Well, it was a tight game at half time, then 28-0 in the second half. So It's those injuries. The Titans just can't get over any injuries that they get. It's they've got their team, and it seems when something happens that goes against the grain for them, they just can't get it back on track. Resilience. Yeah, that's a good word. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean the Sharks. I mean, Sharks look like they were going to be about 12th this year, the way they were playing the first few games. And all of a sudden they look like a top 8 side. I mean, I don't think they can win the premiership, but they look like a solid top 8 side now.
Do you think so?
I think. Yep.
I would think probably 7th or 8th. I'm not sure.
That's a solid top 8 side.
I'm not convinced yet.
Yep.
I'm not convinced. They've got good depth though. Like Matt Moylan's playing fullback. He gets injured. Josh Dugan comes in, and they bring in, and like they've actually got really good depth.
I feel for Moylan. I really do.
Yeah.
Just started to kick on, and he's had another injury.
He's a good footy.
Bryson Goodwin's going okay.
I always knew he would be.
He's terrific.
I always knew.
I know you never rated him, but I think he's a great journeyman.
Yeah,
journeyman's right.
Yeah, but that's right. But he does a job for you.
All right, let's go on to Saturday evening, where the Warriors beat the Broncos 26-16, and at the end of the game, the Broncos were in tears. Can I ask, before we get on to the game, what did you think when you saw the players in tears?
Oh, I thought it was a joke.
Why?
Because last week they were laughing and carrying on and buddy with the Titans when they lost, and they were smashed in the media. Smashed. Yeah. This week they get towed up by the Warriors, and is it an emotional response? Sure, but come on, man, bawling your eyes out. Like, what are they, under 5s? They've lost 6 games. What, has your club ever lost 6 games in a row, Steve? Did you see the players
many times?
Did you see the players bawling on the ground?
No, I couldn't see them because I couldn't see through my own tears. Yes,
I agree, and I've been in the same position. I just think it was. What were they? I don't understand. Like, what's going on there?
I think I was a little more sympathetic than that. I think that the pressure of the last few weeks has finally hit them. I think they got a reality check last week when people said that's not good enough the way you're reacting to losing, and maybe they knuckle down and think, okay, right, we're addressing this, and even that didn't work.
I felt, look, I'm sort of sitting on the fence with both. I understand both of you. I did feel that was a bit demeaning to the Warriors to be crying because you lost against the Warriors.
Well, I don't think they were saying that at all.
No, that's what it felt like.
See, I agree. I agree. See, everybody's talking about the Broncos, but what about the Warriors? We all know they're not the most talented of teams, I guess.
But they played well.
They've got injuries galore. They're playing away from home. Yeah. Players want to go back. They sacked their coach. The owner of the club's come out and said to 2 or 3 of the players, "We don't want you here next year." They're down 10-0.
Yeah.
They come back. Yep. Mate, we should be talking about that is with the external circumstances one of the best comebacks.
Yep.
Or the best comeback of the year.
Yeah.
And Cody Nikorima knocked out after 5 minutes and gone. Their chief playmaker.
Blake Green absolutely stepped up. I don't know whether that was a little bit of honestly. Well, you're going to sack me. This is how well I can play.
We should be saying Warriors. Wow. Yeah. Instead we're going. Oh, what are we going to do with the Broncos?
Yeah.
Stuff them.
I agree with that.
I knew we'd get this response from you. I think it. I mean. Is Seabold a decent coach? I have no idea, but I would hate to be in his position, and I have to have some empathy for his position.
I've got to say, it's looking like he's not.
Yeah.
Now, he came from Manly to South.
We went from Melbourne to Manly to South.
Yeah, so he's had some quality training as a coach.
So who was he assistant to?
Must have been Barrett.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh no, it might have been Des. It might have been Des, and then they picked Barrett.
Because he'd been at South for 12 months, 18 months before he actually took over from Maguire.
Okay.
I don't know. I honestly can't help to think that is he really that good a coach? Because like Bennett's come out and said this week, he's got a team at the start of the year. He had a team of internationals in there. He had 10 or 12 internationals in that team. Yep. State of Origin or internationals. Mm-hmm. Now, yes, some of them might have been getting a bit old, but you know what? You look at some of them who are playing in other teams, and they're not going too badly.
Mm-hmm. No.
He's got a good mix of he's got Fafita and Payne Haas, who should be setting the world on fire.
Further's not doing anything at the moment, but Pangai.
Pangai's another. I mean, there's something wrong. He's
it's interesting. So the thing that I think is the harshest of all for the Broncos is that when your club is really on its knees, and like I said, we've all been there. You want the old boys to come in and say, mate, this is what we played for. Yeah. This is how we. This is our mentality. This is our club. This is our heart. This is who we are. But all we hear in the media is the old boys criticising the current club.
But you also hear before that the club said, no thanks, we don't want you.
But still, I can't recall. I may be wrong. Please feel free to correct me. Any player, when Manly finished second last 2 years ago, I can't recall any ex-player coming out and saying, this is garbage, this is not acceptable, this is terrible. And similar to, I guess, the Broncos, is Manly is a club that has been successful for a long time. Like, you don't accept the garbage. Yep. But we didn't have the ex-players coming out and saying that. No. And admittedly, one of the first things Des did was bring back the ex-players. Yeah. But when you've got blokes like Wally Lewis coming out and saying, there's a discrepancy between what players are being paid and what their actions are on the field, and it's affecting the young blokes. And
you're saying it's vicious.
Yeah, like it makes no sense. Why would you toss out, mate? If Wally Lewis wanted to come to your club and say, I'm just going to hang around and help the boys out,
yeah, please.
Yeah, why are you saying no? He's the best player I've ever seen.
So in the end, the Warriors showed a heap of class at the end of the game. Yeah. I mean, Blair, who I've often he's niggled me over a lot of times, just forever, just the way he plays. But he showed real class. Yeah. Embracing Alex Glenn. I think Alex Glenn that was legitimate.
I think Alex Glenn was legitimate.
He wears his heart on his sleeve. Yep. And I've never known he's been around. Never heard him talk before. But he was good, and he's probably the right person to be a captain at the moment, because I think when they do start kicking on, he'll be good for them.
Anyway,
okay, we're moving on to the last game on the Saturday night, which was the Panthers beating the Tigers 19-12. And if we thought the Thursday night game was good, I think this was just as good.
Oh, this was probably better. Oh, it had more drama, that's for sure.
and it had Joey Leilua. I mean, there's drama for you.
And I think the score doesn't do justice to the game.
No, not at all.
That our last 7 points, the field goal and the try, was scored very late in the game.
Yes,
and really it was neck and neck between that. I think the Tigers did a tremendous job. For 65, 70 minutes.
And in fact, I'm sitting there thinking, South play the Tigers next week. I'm worried.
You should be worried.
But look, superb game.
Yeah. I had one criticism of the Panthers, and I think they lacked a little bit of variation. Yeah. Like, I don't understand when you've got a bloke like Kickow and the go-to play is the cutout pass. The guy's enjoying. He's a monster.
They didn't seem to go to him.
No, they didn't go to him much at all.
And he's got to pass away. Like, I don't understand. He's got an offload. Why don't they? I don't think he had made 4 or 5 runs all game.
Yeah.
Like, you got to play like that in your team. You get him the ball.
So at the end of the game, there was a bit of a scuffle. In fact, there was probably a couple of scuffles. Yep. Joey Leilua gets himself sent off for a header off the ball.
Yeah.
Wasn't bad, but it was bad enough. No.
It was a nonsense.
It was stupid. There was no point to it. I'm not saying I'm not.
Yeah.
There's
no point to
it. There's no good or bad, but it wasn't like he really coat-angered him.
No, but it was a point. He did because he hit him in the head with his arm when he didn't have the ball.
My point is, they go on to score. They're leading by 1 point at that time. Do the Tigers go on to win?
I think there was a chance. There was a chance.
I think it definitely cost them. It cost them any opportunity to win.
Yeah.
What do you do with him, honestly?
Yeah.
Mate. I don't think you change him, because I tell you what, on the other side of it is sometimes he can do the most amazing things.
Absolutely. I think, like I said, I think that's what's missing from Canberra. They've got no one in the backs who's like him, who's just going to monster the opposition.
Yeah. In fact, I'd almost say to Joey, if you want your mongrel, I'm going to stick you in the second row, and I'm going to put you up forward.
He can't handle the second row. He's too.
What?
Nothing. I'm not
Beefy?
Yeah. I don't think his fitness is
so we're okay for him to run 80 metres to score a try.
I don't think his continued fitness with blokes running at him in the second row and him having to make tackles.
But I tell you what, it'd get some of that aggro out of him, because I think that's what he wants. I think he actually wants to hammer players. Now, admittedly,
you might be right.
You know,
you might be right. Yeah.
I tell you, talking about hammering players, Luke Garner. Did you see him in that game? Oh. He's a monster.
Yeah.
At one point, I can't remember who it was. It was one of the Penrith second rowers running at him, and dead set. He's got the guy, one arm, lifted him up in the air, and smashed him down into the ground. And I've just gone, what did I just see? Because it was a big bloke that he hit.
Yeah, they've got some good forwards. You know, they're not world beaters, but they're really they've got a number of good forwards now that's come off. You know, Aloye and Eisenhuth and Talau, and then. Twal,
Luke Garner impressed me.
There's Clark. There's another guy, Clark, who's up and coming. So they've got some good stocks there.
Yeah. How good was Cleary?
Yeah, he just continues to improve, doesn't he?
Ivan or Nathan?
Well, we'll talk about Ivan in a minute. We'll talk about Ivan. Cleary, Nathan.
We need to talk about Ivan.
Yeah, I loved it. Sorry, let's talk about Ivan.
Let's come back to it. Just a second.
All right.
What do you think of young Cleary?
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah, he was on point.
I hate talking about Penrith, so let's carry on.
Why?
I don't like him.
I hope they win the comp. If my
people
team
who watch
can't win,
us
I
who
hope they do.
I know you do.
We have people who... You used to support him.
No, well,
You
that was a
did.
mistake. Yeah.
So's this, but we're not complaining about that.
Well, we are, actually. All right, let's go on to talk about Ivan Cleary. The end of the game, Ivan Cleary is blowing kisses to a spectator.
And then pointed at the scoreboard.
Who's obviously giving him a mouthful.
Well, apparently what happened was there was a young boy with his father. The young boy went like this to Ivan Cleary, and Ivan Cleary did this. And then the father said, basically, no, you can't do that, and gave him for leaving the club in
front of his son.
In front of his son, which I think is bad form.
Yeah.
But I think that Ivan should have just let it go and walked away.
No.
He should have let it go and walk away.
Oh, look, it's that, you know what?
As somebody said, would Trent Robinson do that? Would Craig Bellamy do that?
Who cares?
You know?
I
just think it's bad.
I remember, I've been going to the football since I was very young. And
So in 1908, what did happen?
not that young. But I had a bunch of mates who were Parramatta fans, and Parramatta Stadium is the closest ground to me, and so we would often go to Parramatta Stadium.
Cumberland Oval. Not that young. Okay.
First year of Parramatta Stadium was when I was really into the footy.
Yeah, okay.
And so we'd go all the time, and I would just hate Parramatta. I'd just be hating on them from the day I was there.
Really? I never noticed that before.
No.
And the amount of times I've gone, look at the scoreboard, even though I'm wearing a Manly jersey and they're playing Illawarra.
Yeah.
I don't see anything
But you're
wrong
not
with
a
it.
coach.
Yeah, but
you're not out there.
But
You're not out there representing your club.
No, let's not. Don't kill the personality out of the game.
Yeah, I'm on the fence.
It wasn't abusive. It wasn't angry. It wasn't nasty. It was just, suck it up.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm in two minds about it. I actually didn't mind it, and then I'm starting to hear all these people, and I'm thinking, yeah, maybe it's not so bad, but I don't know. I don't want to take the personalities out of the game either.
Yep.
Brian?
No, I'm not ready.
Brian, we have to talk about it. Are you ready? Zen-like, remember?
I'm Zen.
Be Zen.
I am Zen.
Okay. Let's talk about the Knights smashing the Sea Eagles 14-12.
You're not helping. You
I
realise you're not helping.
He told me that he was a calming influence.
I'm a calming influence, I am.
Wow.
Because no, I'm a realist. They got smashed.
It was 14-12.
Yeah, it was a smashing.
Okay.
Should we
just go to the end?
No, let's
talk.
Let's talk about the game first.
Okay.
What did you think of the game? It was a good game. It really was a good game. Brian?
Was it?
Well, given the amount of injuries the Manly have got, I think they're punching above their weight.
Manly have no depth. We all know that.
Yep.
Not having reserve grade. Look, I keep saying it. We've got a whole bunch of kids who are like 21, 22, 23 who haven't played now for 12 months. Albert Hopewadi is a gun. Josh Schuster is a gun. That's a fullback and a 5'8". We can't get them in first grade because they haven't played.
Yeah.
Like, this COVID thing is just... So I get it. I get the fact that injuries have played a massive toll and our depth is low.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, I think they are probably punching above their weight. Thank you, Tom.
Well, I think that. Yeah.
Okay. Go.
So let's go on to the end of the game.
10 seconds to go. Jerry Evans throws it to Sully. Sully throws it to Funa. Funa kicks. And
what are you doing? You're doing an
I'm putting a post on NRL from the sidelines.
What are you doing that now?
You're putting a lotto or something, you know.
I'm putting a post on NRL from the sidelines.
Hey, we're on air.
Because I don't want to talk about this game!
Please.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, Andrew McCulloch cleans up the ball, and Grant Atkins rightly so says, "I'm a bit sus about this. Can you have a look at it at the bunker?" So he absolves his responsibility. He is not at fault here. He
actually asked, "Is it a penalty try?"
Yeah.
So
it was never a penalty try.
But that means that he saw something happen, and he goes, "That's an illegal play."
Yes.
Hey. Give me some advice.
It may be an illegal play, but unfortunately, what happens is once the ref has asked the bunker, he loses any control.
That's right.
Oh, I agree.
That's the problem.
Yeah,
I agree.
Interestingly
and
enough,
he's a good ref, Grant Atkins. I think.
I agree.
Interestingly enough, not long before this happened, I was watching Fox, and the commentator said just how much they like Maxwell as the bunker because he makes such great decisions. And then it came to this.
Yeah, it was a shocker.
So let's break it down. Breaking down the sideline, he pushes in the back.
Absolutely.
We've actually talked about this before, that it's becoming more and more common for players to push in the back, and we've always said it should be a penalty.
Well, like I said, I actually said last week, and I stand by it, if you foul a player in the act of scoring a try, with the athletes that we are currently dealing with, I actually think that they should say, you know what, we're going to go benefit of the doubt the attacking player, and we're going to call try. And I guarantee you, it will stop. And I know you don't like that.
No, I don't.
But you know what? It'll get rid of the stupidity.
You know, if Redmond Best hadn't pushed him in the back, Tex Hoy had already fallen over. Well, I don't know whether he fell over or whether he actually went underneath him.
He would have tripped over him anyway.
He tripped him up. So either way, there's compelling evidence for why it should have been a penalty.
I tell you talk about Maxwell. Go back to last year. All right, Maxwell was a video ref. Manly are playing Souths. We're 10 points up. Maxwell is the one who decides that Jake Trbojevic gets sent to the bin. Manly lose that game. South score a ton of points while Trebojevic's off. Should he have been binned? I don't think so. I think that was a dud call. That's all right. You can wear a dud call. I can wear a dud call. When we're playing the Sharks...
Yeah, go.
All right. Curtis Sirenen is going for the ball to knock it over the dead ball line. Wade Graham on the ground, reaches out, grabs his ankle and trips him over. Cronulla score. Guess who the video ref was? Maxwell.
Don't tell me he was a video ref against Parramatta as well.
See, this is different. See,
okay.
I don't... and I'll make it perfectly clear right now. I think the refs are doing a great job.
Yeah.
You know, am I frustrated by that forward pass debacle against Parramatta? Absolutely. But you know what? The touchy made a call. Yeah. You know, and the ref backed up the touchy. Fair enough. It happened like that. Yeah. But this is a video ref. They're looking at it 37 times, and every fan is going. The Newcastle fans are going, man, we've given away a penalty. They could take this in extra time. And then the video ref says, it's all legit.
Yeah.
Only for the video ref boss to come out the next day and say, oh yeah, we got that one wrong.
Yeah, but
it was going to be a difficult kick.
He wouldn't have kicked it.
But you know, he might have kicked it.
He should have had a chance.
Yeah.
So they call full time.
So so let me just say very clearly, I'm not anti-ref. I hate the video ref. I don't get how someone who can watch it 37 times
with 11
can
can
still get it wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So they call
full time. Game's over.
And I've never seen a player sent off after full time. He's called, and so Adam Fonua-Blake comes over and gives him a gobful.
He did.
And then he says, "You off."
And then he gave him another gobful.
Apparently in the tunnel.
No. But then he said something to him as he was walking away.
Oh,
so
okay.
that's twice. And then in the tunnel, it was a third time.
No, the tunnel was the second time. So he said it, and then
I saw
and
it.
then
He said
continued
go.
on.
He said go, and you could see Adam Fonua-Blake, and he was saying F off.
Yeah, he said that. That's right.
Yeah.
He did say
So it's 3 times really.
Okay.
So Tony Volandis has come out and said not enough.
Yeah, Volandis,
Really?
2 weeks is not enough.
You're weak on this one, Volandis. Weak.
You want him to have more?
No. This is honestly, and I don't care who it is. All right, what he said was wrong. All right? I don't think that players, and I've got an issue with players approaching the ref.
Did you seriously just answer on Facebook? Did you just post something on our Facebook page right now while you're talking to us?
Yeah, that's what I was doing. Listen, hear me out. So I have an issue with players approaching the ref. I think it should be the captain's responsibility and only the captain's responsibility.
Yep.
What has annoyed me about this is that it was after the game.
Yep.
So he shouldn't have done it, and he shouldn't have done it, don't get me wrong. But players approach the ref all the time, and we don't ever hear what's said. Why? And I get that what he said was wrong, but the media has blown this up and made sure it was at the forefront of what was happening.
But the ref wouldn't have made a big issue about it in this unless he took offence to it. I mean,
and I get that.
Otherwise, every ref would actually it'll be on the front page every week.
We should be sitting here going, how did he get 2 weeks? What did he say? Because it should. Corey Oates 2 weeks ago gave the ref an absolute gobful. You could see on the coverage, he's like this in the ref's face, but the microphone wasn't on. We don't know what he said. I'm frustrated with that kind of inconsistency.
Sure.
And as far as what happens off the field, and apparently he was in the sheds when he was going off at the ref again, I don't care. That's after the game is finished.
Yeah.
So
and personally, I mean, it's my cynicism, but I think that apology looked far too articulate to have been coming from Adam Fonua-Blake, to be honest. I think that was scripted.
I mean, let's talk about players that wear their heart on their sleeve.
Oh, yeah, sure.
They all do.
He's the one that didn't want to get a pay cut because, during the COVID period, and he's the one that wears the master. So he's not doing himself any favours.
I know.
He's in the media for all the wrong reasons.
Yep. I love him as a player, but I think that was a really, really dumb thing.
He's almost David Fafita. Andrew Fafita a few years after. He's done. And he played for Tonga, so maybe he's learning some bad habits.
Yeah, look, so, and to be perfectly honest, I actually think 2 weeks is, like I said, I think it's harsh, but if that's the contrary conduct rule,
it's going to be more.
Well, it'd be interesting. You're right. It'd be interesting to see if they do it again.
He's going to get more.
Okay.
No, it'll be a club imposed fine, apparently. Okay. And let's face it, and I don't mean to be rude about this either, because I don't agree with what he said. But how many more weeks do you want to give him? You want to give him 2? You want to give him 4 weeks? Joey Leilua nearly took someone's head off without the ball, and he's going to get 3 or 4.
You got to look at it in context.
The context they're talking about too is that because Volandis is in racing as well, a jockey called one of the stewards a grub.
Yep.
Got $5,000 in 3 months.
Yep.
So that's his perspective.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it. Don't worry. Like I said,
But the point is, in racing, it doesn't happen hardly at all because they make an example.
Well, I think
they need to make an example is the question.
Well, I think let me just tell you, I think 2 weeks is an example because I don't think we're going to win without him.
Yeah.
And
all right.
And if he was in my club, I'd probably feel the same.
And just so you know, I actually think the club will impose a significant fine, and probably a suspended sentence, and I think he will have to do community work. And you know what the stupid thing is, just so you know, I actually don't think he meant any offence by it because his son actually has autism. Right. Like, it's not like he's disassociated from the issue.
Well,
I've said that now.
Okay. So you want to get back to your Zen-like state?
Yeah, the pain's over.
Okay.
Can I just say, any Manly fans out there listening, Ruben Garrick was much better at fullback. His positional play was exceptional.
Okay, so let's move on to the last game of the round, which was an exceptional game. You know, mighty reversal of form for the Bunnies, where they beat the unbelievably good Bulldogs 26-10.
Absolutely flattered your team. Absolutely flattered them.
I think the Bulldogs were very good. They were excellent.
I don't think you were that good, honestly.
Well, I didn't play, but the Bunnies were.
I don't think.
No, I don't think they were either.
No.
So there's something wrong at the Bunnies. They're not gelling.
Yeah.
There's something missing.
Cody Walker had a pretty ordinary game. I mean, he scored a nice try, but
he was in the first half. He was very quiet in the first half.
I thought he was okay. Like the ball.
Second half,
he
was
was
better.
usual.
He didn't go looking for the ball enough.
I think Murray was a bit quiet. Maybe they said did a number on him.
I don't know, but I tell you what, they're not gelling. There's still a lot of drop ball. There's just they're switching on and off throughout a game.
Elliott out's going to be a big loss for the Dogs.
Yeah.
They'll get Luke Thompson coming in now. When Fatala Mariner came to the Dogs, he kept dropping the ball.
Yeah.
I tell you what, he's really stepped up in that team. I think his meters have been really good. He's got some offloads, and I notice him now. He's really playing well for the team.
Okay, we're going to move on to next week's round, which is round 9. Gentlemen, Thursday night, Cowboys and the Roosters.
Yes.
This will be tougher than just
for sure.
straight.
The Cowboys have got pride on the line. I mean, they got absolutely hammered, and the Roosters are vulnerable because they've lost a significant number of players. I think the loss of Tupou is much more significant than most people not outside of the Roosters will realise. He is so important to that team.
Well, no, I get it. It's the same as I don't know about Souths, but it's the same as Manly. The first hitter after every kick downfield is George Safua.
Yeah.
So, and people bag him all the time because he comes in off his wing.
Yeah.
But you know what? He's the first player to take a hit up every single game.
Speaking of injuries, I'm disappointed to see Braden Burns. I know he's probably not one of the top.
It was a nasty injury.
But
really was.
the kid has so many injuries every year.
He wouldn't be playing anyway. You're going to drop him for James Roberts.
No, we're dropping. No, we're not.
Yeah, you are.
So Valentine Holmes is going to the wing.
James Roberts was playing anyway
for the Hammer.
Yep.
Ryan Hall should get a few games, and I think that's what he'll probably need. He's been in and out team just to fill in.
Yeah.
I think a few games under his belt might doing the world of good. I mean, he's at the end of his career, but I think it might just.
Why did you buy him at the end of his career?
Well,
he's been sitting there.
But he had an ACL before he even got there, and he's had another knee injury since. But anyway, look, it's about depth, I guess, and it's proven to be a good idea.
Okay, so you're going Roosters?
I'll go the Roosters. Yep.
Brian?
Yeah,
I want to bounce back.
The fact that it's in North Queensland makes me a little bit sympathetic to the Cowboys, but I can't see them beating the Roosters.
No, me neither. I'm
going
Roosters.
And Cordner's having a week off because I said he's got a groin problem and he had that nasty concussion.
He needs it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go on to the Friday night game where the Titans are hosting the Warriors at Seabus Super Stadium.
The only thing that gives you any kind of hope for the Titans is that it's at home, but I think the Warriors will be buoyed by what they did, and they'll get Roger back.
Yep.
Although they played pretty darn well without him.
They played well without him.
Peter Higu's a good player.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, another Manly guy.
Are you posting on Facebook again?
No, I'm trying to find the team list.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Won't that be on here?
Yeah, but I had it all before, and then I accidentally... Oh, there it is, next door to the page. Oh, genius. What was I going to say? I'm going Titans.
You going Titans? Tom?
I'm going to go the Warriors.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning towards the Warriors as well. Okay, let's go on to the other Friday night game where the Bunnies are hosting the Tigers at Bankwest.
I think the Warriors... I think the Tigers are going to get you, honestly. I think that they're playing generally much more consistent football than the Rabbitohs. Rabbitohs are going to have to really, really lift. Sorry. They're due for a big win.
Look, I told you before, this game worries me.
Yeah.
Earlier in the year, I'd say, no, it's not going to be an issue. The only advantage is there's no Joey Leilua.
Mm-hmm.
But...
And no Luciano.
Probably no Luciano.
Yeah.
And no
he's
Corey
listed.
Thompson.
He's listed, is he? Okay.
So,
Well, Thompson doesn't play for them anymore.
no, I know, but he used to.
Yeah.
And he used to terrorise us.
Yeah.
I don't know about putting Michael Cheekham in the centres.
You tip.
I think Souths were a little bit disjointed last week, so I'm going to have to go with the Tigers.
There's talk about Stephen Masters coming into the centre position. He's the
Bunnies,
cousin for the Bunnies. He's the cousin of Zen Masters.
Right.
What, ahead of Campbell Graham or James Roberts?
No. Bringing him in because Braden Burns out. He'll come in instead of either Corey Allen or he'll come on the bench.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Because I thought James Roberts was way out of condition.
Oh yeah, under the
terrible.
Well, he's listed to play, and
Yeah.
your interchange.
James Roberts is another one who's just not. It's not there at the moment.
Campbell Graham is he off contract soon?
I hope not.
So I tell you what, a lot of people will be after
I know.
him. He's tremendous.
I know.
Tremendous young kid.
Okay, Saturday afternoon, it's the Sharks hosting the Panthers at Net Strata Jubilee Stadium.
I'm going to go the Panthers. I think they've shown enough over the last couple of weeks that they can match it with anyone.
Yeah, I'm going Panthers. Tom?
I wouldn't.
Riveting radio.
Crickets. I'm going to lean to the
You see, he's
Sharks.
put some thought into this, right?
Yeah, because the Panthers might need a loss.
Don't let your hatred for the Panthers
Yeah.
rule your decision.
Yeah, like me, I'm not picking the Eels. I don't know who they're playing.
All right, let's go on to, gosh, this will be interesting, the Broncos and the Bulldogs. The Broncos are favourite for this game.
I'm going to go the Dogs. It's at Suncorp, isn't it?
Yeah.
And they'll have a bit of a crowd.
If the Bulldogs, I reckon if
They
the
just
Bulldogs
can't
can play
score
like they
enough
played
points.
last week,
Can't
No.
score enough points.
but neither can the Broncos.
I'm going Dogs.
Yeah, I'm going to go the Dogs.
You know why I'm going the Dogs? Because there needs to be some changes in that Broncos team. And do you know what the changes were from last week? Same 17.
Yes, I know.
Really? They didn't change anybody.
Rumour has it that Seabold is going to make some changes for
I
this
thought
week.
Milford was going to get dropped.
No, Tavita Pengai is going to prop, Thomas Flegler to the bench, and Corey Oates is starting in the second row.
Yeah.
That's it.
What do you think of Corey Oates as a second row?
No. Oh, look, I don't get it. Like,
He keeps putting his hand up for us.
Geez, he's not scoring any tries, but then,
it doesn't
the
second row.
opportunities.
Look, Adam Elliott's out with a dislocated shoulder, but the big Pommy comes in at
Luke
Luke
Thompson.
At,
Okay.
Are we allowed to say Pommy now?
No.
probably not.
So you're both going Dogs.
Yep.
Okay.
And you're going to...
I'm on the fence.
Yeah, he wants to go Broncos, but
He
he knows
does,
that they're
yeah,
hopeless.
Even his third team, he still has love for them.
Raiders and Storm at GIO Stadium.
Storm.
Last
Yeah.
year, this would have been the match of the round.
Yeah, I think the Storm will get this.
I think so too.
They're just Raiders are too inconsistent.
Yep.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the Raiders start off on fire and score 12, 14 points, and the Storm still run them down.
Well, they showed last week that they just hang in the comp.
Yeah.
They look on the competition and just look for an opportunity. It's what you hate about them.
Maybe we need to wait and see what Sally picks before we decide.
Well, she's going to pick the Raiders. It's a no-brainer, isn't it, Sally?
Sally, don't.
You've got
Go
this
with Melbourne.
reverse psychology going.
It's actually paying off for her.
It is. Can you pick against the Roosters sometime?
Yeah, she does that often.
Yeah.
Let's go on to Sunday afternoon where the Knights are playing the Eels.
I think the Eels are doing too well.
Yeah, Knights.
No.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No, I think the Eels will win.
I thought the Knights were actually quite good against Manly, even though they couldn't quite get over their tenacious defence. But there's the centre that they've got, that Ernani Tulala, whoever he is.
Tuala, yeah.
He's not much chop. I didn't see anything out of him. They kept going to his side, and I didn't see him.
They've lost their
doing
big
a lot.
too.
Yeah, but Tex Hoy's a good player.
Tex always a good player.
So yeah, I'm actually going to go the Knights.
That's their first home game. Yeah, too. So
First home game of the year.
They want to impress, but I think the Eels are on a roll.
Yeah, I got to say I lean towards Eels as well.
Yeah.
Then we have the last game of the round, which is the Dragons and the Sea Eagles.
I have to wait till the last game.
Last
of the round. I
game.
hate the
This
last
is it.
game of the round.
Net Strata Jubilee, so it's
Yes.
a home game for the Dragons.
I'm going Manly. They showed that they will be in every game, and they will be in this game.
I think the Eagles by a very small
Really?
slim margin. Yes.
The Dragons, you mean?
Eagles by a very slim margin.
Oh,
Sorry, Barry, you're gone.
by the way, we did have a complaint this week
Oh.
from one of our viewers that I won't mention names, but he does think that I carry you guys, and he wants you two to step up a little bit.
Thanks, Barry.
And
It can't be Barry because
It has to be Barry.
Steve doesn't carry anyone.
on my shoulders, let me tell you. Thanks, Barry. I actually think the Dragons can win this one.
Barry.
Oh,
Nepotism.
Yeah,
Good luck.
another good
Almost
one.
nepotism.
good luck. You're allowed to be wrong.
I don't know about man. I just think you got too many injuries.
We do have a lot of injuries.
You know.
I'll tell you.
Well, the loss of Fonua-Blake is going to be massive.
Oh, huge.
That's just swung that pendulum a little bit back towards the Dragons, actually.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Sorry.
I'm probably leaning that way, but I'll mind up later.
We've got to have a good showing because we play the evil slimy eels next week.
No,
Okay.
Again.
So we're going to end the show right here.
Yep.
You got anything intelligent you want to add before we go?
Always. I've actually put up on the Facebook page, Ivan Cleary.
Ivan Clear and
Ivan Cleary, kissing and pointing, good or bad. Please make your comments. I have no problem with it. Tom does. Prove him wrong. Thank you, people.
You want to end the show with something?
How do you follow
I
that?
don't know.
Seriously, I'm just...
Well,
yeah.
at least I know you're paying attention. You're not playing computer games while he's talking to you.
I must admit, I was in shock, as you remember, I was in shock on Thursday night, and it took me a while to get over that, so my team
He
needs
kept
to...
calling this dog them.
I don't want to talk about
Them. Them
All
bad guys.
because they're good. Hate it.
Thank you for watching. This is NRL from the Sidelines with Tom, Brian and Steve, and we're going to do it all again next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.
See ya.